IAS aspirants. I am S.N. Chakravarti talking today on Hannah Arendt. Hannah Arendt developed unique perspectives and opinions on many areas of political thoughts like revolution, totalitarianism, power, democracy, human condition, and others. Her various discussions finally converge into one central issue, that is political participation in public space. No right or liberty could be attained in its fullest form unless there is an environment to deliberate them openly through public appearance. But why Hannah is so occupied with the question of participation in public space? Hannah was born in 1906 in Germany. Due to fear of persecution, she had to flee to USA and got settled there. She experienced how the Jewish community in Germany was deprived of freedom under the totalitarian Nazi rule. Freedom, therefore, is not something for her to be recognized and mentioned in a constitution or law book. It is something that individuals enjoy without any fear of persecution. In her own words, quote, freedom was understood as being manifested human activities. These activities could be real only when others saw them, judged them, and remembered them. Unquote. According to Hannah, a good society is not created only by introducing individual welfare scheme, but by enabling citizens to attain public happiness. Public happiness emerges as a reality when people have social capacity to participate in public life. Greek city-states the citizens had capacity to participate in open assembly and be part of the decision-making process. No individual person can be consistently happy or free unless there is public happiness and public freedom. Urge for happiness and freedom may germinate in private domains, but it essentially needs public space for expression. Hannah substantiates her various arguments with relevant historical antecedents. First, revolution. People of France completed a revolution with the expectation that new society will give them opportunity to discuss and decide the political issues openly. At the end, it is not the people, but their leaders enjoyed, freedom in public space. This was true both for the French Revolution and the Russian Revolution. This was also fact to some extent for the American independence. Second is totalitarianism. With reference to Hitler's Germany and Stalin's USSR, she concluded that these forms of governments attempt to subjugate citizens' freedom. Ideology and terror are two things that totalitarian regimes use to curtail freedom of the citizens. In Hannah's words, quote, totalitarianism is consistent persecution of every form of intellectual activity, unquote. Third is power. Hannah maintains that power originates in the initial get-together of people. The power is political when people grow a political community. Such associations gain legitimacy only when its members can communicate freely through speech and actions in open space. As Hannah says, again, quote, Power needs no justification. It exists inherently in every human community. What it needs is legitimacy when groups emerge freely. Fourth is democracy. She preferred deliberative democracy over representative government. She disliked the latter form of government because here the representatives deliberate for the people in public life. But in deliberative democracy, opinions are formed through open discussion and public debates. And finally, action or viva activa. Humans engage in action in two ways, at the thought process and through participation in public sphere. The rulers are not concerned about what they think, but what public actions emerge out of their such thoughts. Action means citizens' participation on civil affairs. It reveals pluralist nature of society because actions are confluence of different thoughts. Hannah's thoughts faced some criticisms. For example, Ishaya Berlin, a liberal thinker, found that storytelling form of narratives of Hannah may help truths to emerge, but without sufficient evidence. They are just metaphysical narratives of free associations. Bhikhu Parekh opined that Hannah's understanding about Karl Marx was incomplete. Hannah Pitkin, a political theorist, argues that Hannah's idea of politics is ultimately empty concept because political life is fundamentally concerned with economic activities too. A student of political science would, however, essentially accept that in spite of limitations, Hannah has successfully located politics as free civil actions in public space. Thank you very much.